go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Check the From the Shore to Be More show. Coming through strong with that podcast flow. Sunday afternoon or 2 to 3 p.m. slot. Got the Interstate 95 Turnpike high. When you tune in, they don't just entertain. They come with the message that presses the brain. Those other podcasts, they seem microscopic. Cause they're the big balls that drop the hot topics. So sure, be more dumb. You just stay ready for DJ Boom, Shaheem, and Montemi. Put them together, there's a treacherous three. From the tri-state area to the DMV. So sit back, relax, get your Sundays on. On after morning, gone before dawn. That positive vibe that we hitting so strong. With this podcast show, you can't go wrong. So, here we go, here we go. 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 What's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of From the Shore to Be More. I am one of your hosts, the one, the only, Shaheem.
And I'm another host. I am Deborah Singletary, a.k.a. Aunt Debbie.
Yes, she is, and usually we're here with our co-host DJ Boom. I guess he'll catch up in a minute, but you are the treacherous three of the tri-state area and the DMV. And it's good to be back with everybody for another episode. We have another great topic for you guys. The art of problem solving, everybody. That is a good one. Wouldn't you say, oh, Debbie?
I like that topic. I thought a lot about it. So
yeah, so did I. And we're gonna go over the 5 steps, I believe, to create a problem solving. Maybe
be a better way of going about it.
Right. But I think we talked about 5 steps, and we're gonna go over all of that, right? Oh, okay.
It's a deeper subject than steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The deeper subject.
All right. And we're going to have our esteemed guest today, Mr. Brian Singletary, is going to be joining us for this topic, ladies and gentlemen. Problems of the world today, as we're listening to that famous New York group, the Fearless Four, behind us. What's up, DJ Boom? What's going on?
I'm exhausted, but I'm here making it do what it do each and every Sunday, right along with you two. What is happening? I am exhausted right now, but I wasn't gonna miss it.
Good, as usual, Boom. We're glad you could join us, cause I know you're busy. Are you in Baltimore now?
I am. Welcome to my new space.
All right. So now it's truly a true From the Shore to Be More today. There you have it.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, the lighting is a little off. I don't have my lamp, and I didn't get set up properly. But here I am.
I know. I see that blow-up bed.
Right, and I can't stand blow-up beds.
Well, we're glad you could join us, Boom. And again, it's going to be a great show, everybody. I also want to acknowledge last week's show, Men's Health Sunday, and our guest last week, Mr. Jerry Smith, who is here to talk about gave us some wonderful tips on how we as men can improve our health through our diet, and it was a great show. If you missed it, make sure you go back and catch it on our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. And please don't forget to subscribe. Your subscriptions help us a whole lot on this show, and we don't want you to forget to do that. So go ahead and do that, and also hit the notification button so you never miss an episode. Right, guys?
Right. Absolutely, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe, because as soon as you subscribe, when we go on live, it will send you a notification letting you know that we are here to entertain you.
That we are for sure, everybody. So thanks for everybody joining the show, especially to all of our new viewers. We appreciate it. We definitely love your support.
Real quick, the food of the week will be back next week, but because we have a guest today, I'm not going to do that, everybody. We'll have that fun next week, and I'm going to have something special for you guys. All right? How about that? Just a quick announcement. Also, you can send us your special moments. I don't want you to forget that. Send them to fromtheshowtobemore@gmail.com. That being said, boom, we got the sports today. Are we going to do this or what?
We got the sports today. We got to do it. It's
All right, then. We cannot forget.
Weekend.
All right, then we cannot forget that it is Football Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be a very, 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 very big week for football today. Is it not, Coach Boone?
Absolutely. See, now listen, we all know that last week certain things happened and certain teams are no longer in the playoffs. It is what it is. The Ravens are no longer there.
Yeah. Well, I want to say this.
Go ahead.
I want to say this real quick about the Ravens and the Bills game. The Ravens, of course, everybody knows, lost that game. Shout out to the Ravens, though, anyway. A catch by, I think, tight end Mark Andrews would have probably got the Ravens to win, but he dropped the ball, everybody. And he's been tortured all over social media and news and everything for dropping that ball. But Bills fans, being the great fans they are, have donated money to Mark Andrews' charity, and he has made us a lot of money. So shout out to the Bills fans for their generosity. I thought that was a beautiful gesture, and I hope that cheered Mike up. Mark,
so the Ravens like to shoot themselves in the foot. The Ravens could have won that game. It wasn't even about the drop ball in the end zone. They went for a 2-point conversion early in the third quarter, which I didn't think was a good idea. Had they listened to Coach Boone, they wouldn't be in this predicament. They would have kicked the ball, and they would have only needed 1 point and not 2 points. You know what I mean? So they didn't listen. You had to go for it. And for a person who's never dropped the ball, never fumbled the ball, that was the game that he decided to fumble the ball and drop the ball. So, you know, and they've been torturing him because he refused to do an interview, and it's in your contract. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all better stop coddling these dudes. I'm telling you, it's so annoying. It's in their contract that they have to do an interview. They have to make themselves available to interview. Just because he might have not said the right thing or whatever the case may be, that's not in the contract. The contract is you have to make yourself available. So make yourself available and take accountability for the fact that you dropped that ball and you lost that fumble. Stop it. I hate all this coddling with these dudes, man. It's annoying. That's a tough one. No judgment here. No judgment here. That was a big pill for him to swaylo. So no judgment here. And there you go, coddling.
Hey, listen. To be in that man's shoes, I'm not gonna hold no judgment against him. I'm not gonna say I would have given an interview. I'm not gonna hold on. I'm not gonna say I would have given the interview. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't. All I'm saying is I'm not going to hold judgment against him for making the decision that he made. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm going on public record for them to know that I am holding all judgment against you and every other sports person that needs to be coddled and babied. Okay. It's annoying. You know what I mean? Stop coddling these kids.
I have a question.
Yes.
You do not have to answer. Yes. Is it coddling or compassion?
It's coddling.
Hello.
And that's both of y'all problems. That's the problem with this generation. That 35, that's that window of everybody gets a participation trophy, everybody wins, blah, blah, blah. Hell no.
I don't want to stay there too long. I just want to say this. Boom. You're entitled to your opinion, obviously. We all are. Just if you're ever in his shoes, keep that same energy. That's all I'm saying.
I take accountability for everything that I do. 100%. I take
accountability. Here we go with the Baltimore fans.
Ball slipped out his hands. Whatever. Take responsibility. Right. Be a man.
All right.
The game today, we got the number 1 seeded Lions was put out by the Commanders.
Shout out to the Commanders. Yeah.
I knew that was going to happen. Honestly knew it. I knew it was going to happen. So now we got the Commanders against the Eagles today.
That is the big game today. That is the big game today, everybody. That game right there.
Even
So
though
much
people
so-
talk about the Chiefs and
Yeah.
Bills. I don't think
Right.
that's
Shout
the
out to
big
them too. Shout out to them. No, it's not. Shout out to them too.
one. It's
The
that one
NFC
that's the big one.
Championship game between the Eagles and Commanders, and I don't want to stay on this too long. Almost doubled the money that the AFC Championship game brought in. Everybody, I just wanted to put that out there. Almost doubled. That's incredible. That's how big this game is. I can't wait to see it. Who was that? What did that say? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's Tawanda, my sister.
I like it. All right, okay. And thanks for watching, Tawanda. Okay.
This coddled generation. Anyway, I'm super excited for both of them. Clearly, in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, I want to see the Commanders versus the Bills. Take it back to 1984 when it was the Redskins versus the Bills, and the Bills got walloped by the Redskins. So I want to see that rematch.
Okay, all right.
Bring it back. So hopefully next weekend, that's what I'm talking about. Fingers crossed. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, definitely. And so there it is, everybody. Go place your bets. Go place your bets, and good luck to everybody. The odds are pretty good out there. There's a good chance to win some big money if you make the right bet. Either way, whatever happens with the Commanders season, I'm not even a Commanders fan, but I'm so proud of that young quarterback and the season that he had. I just want to say that real fast. Before we get into the next segment of the show, I want to say, if you're like us up here in the Northeast, and now the rest of the country, your yard probably looks a little something like this today, everybody. I don't know about you guys, but it's been a freezer cold week for us up here in the Northeast. It's been brutal. But to share the wealth, we give it all of you across the country a taste of it. All down south and everything. Y'all got a taste of it. So enjoy all the fun, everybody. I just wanted to put that out there, everybody. Yeah, I'm teasing. That's right. And we're going to keep this thing rolling.
Get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, get on up. Turn it up. Now we gonna have us a good time.
Happy birthday to all of you Aquariuses out there who are celebrating your birthday either today, in the past week, or the upcoming week. We definitely want to celebrate your birthdays with you, right, guys? I just had to do it. They were one of the only ones that got their own songs. Or Debbie, can you tell us something interesting and fun about our Aquarian friends out there?
So our Aquarian friends are generally scientific in their thinking, which brings,
Really?
oh yeah, and the key words for Aquarius is I know, and so they are keen on knowing things. They might lean more towards facts, but they think with lightning speed. And
Really?
and they're often they're unconventional, and they love people, and they love they're loyal to their family, but they are open to the world as their family.
Wow.
Yes,
Shout out to all the Aquarians. Boom, can you handle the comments, please?
Not a water sign.
Wow. Shout out to all the Aquarians out there. That's pretty nice. Also, I want to recognize.
Wacky.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Wild and sometimes wacky.
Wild and wacky. I wonder if Albert Einstein was an Aquarian. I'm gonna have to look that up. But anyway, that's pretty nice. Okay. Also, yeah, go ahead.
My dad was an Aquarius.
Oh, okay. I know we're gonna recognize his birthday. So I already know that. But also want to recognize the Lunar New Year. So happy Lunar New Year to all my Asian brothers and sisters out there. I think it's the year of the wood snake, I think. So happy Lunar New Year to everybody out there celebrating. All right. Birthdays. What's up, T?
Sounds like you hit it right on the head with the little sister on, Debbie.
Smart. And independent thinking. They
Go to
don't
the future,
follow
not
the herd.
past. Okay, all right. Boy, we got a lot of Aquarians watching the show today. So I don't know. Okay.
Wanda,
Well, they love them. Aquarius
man.
lovers.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you, do you guys have any Aquarians that you want to recognize today? No?
No. Well, I do
Okay.
have one. I got one. My homegirl
All
Lauren.
right.
Today is her birthday. Her name is Lauren Light. She's one of my karaoke folks that come out and have a good time. So
Who's that?
it's her birthday today. At some point, I'm going to remember a birthday, I'm sure. But right now, but we said Aquarius. So did we shout out? Did we shout out cousin Felicia last week? Did we shout Felicia out last week?
I don't know
Oh,
if you
birthday.
did, but I
Well,
think
if
you
we-
might have. But hey, happy birthday, cuz.
She was on the 23rd of January, so that was Thursday. So yeah, her birthday
Okay.
was Thursday. So shout out to our cousin Felicia. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
And
birthday.
that's pretty
cuz.
much all I got. Oh, and Shamar. Yeah, so I did shout them both out.
Oh,
My
yeah,
nephew Shamar.
that's right. Happy birthday, little man. That's right. What were you saying on Debbie?
happy birthday to Ken Wright.
Oh, to brother Ken. Oh, he was the horn. All right. Now, happy birthday, sir.
You was about to get in a lot of trouble.
You about to, yeah, you is. Yeah, you is.
Not my fault. It comes so early. I tend to think, February is Aquarius, but it starts in January. So Ken's birthday was the 24th. Happy birthday, Ken.
I'm going to be honest. Me, myself, I know I'm going to miss some birthdays. I didn't have a chance to really look up everybody. I'm sorry. So I'm going to miss some of you guys. I'll get you next week. Don't get at me after the show and all that. I'm going to get you next week, everybody. Hi, on there's new moon is Tuesday, but we are in the new moon vibration. Okay. All right.
Clearly,
Well,
new moon, new space.
There it is. There it is. Well, speaking of Aquarius, I got a few celebs. I'm gonna call this the music day today because man, there's a lot of musical cool Aquarians out there, everybody. So let's talk about a few celebs. First and foremost, though, I want to recognize one of the biggest here, and that would be Miss Oprah Winfrey, man. Let's give it up for Oprah. I mean, her birthday will be January 29th, but I want to recognize her today. What can I say? What can we say about her? The queen of talk show TV and everything. So happy birthday, Oprah. And now let's keep this thing rolling. Wow, there's a lot of them. Let's start with this guy here. Mr. Kirk Franklin, everybody, whose birthday is on January the 26th. And also the queen herself, Miss Anita Baker, another one, January 26th, everybody. I mean, the queen, let's face it, still going, by the way. Also, New York's own Alicia Keys, everybody. Let's definitely give it up for Alicia's birthday. It was on January the 25th, everybody. I just love to hear her play. Just give me a second, everybody. Woo! I just had to take that ride, ladies and gentlemen. I just had to take that ride. Last but not least, New York's own.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke.
And one of my favorites, Rakim, everybody, whose birthday is on January the 28th. And there you have it, everybody. Some really famous Aquarians for you. Just fun fact, J. Cole and Rick Ross's birthday is also on Rakim's birthday. So a lot of rappers born on January 28th. Just fun fact for everybody out there. And then you have it, everybody. Those are my celebs for today. Hope you enjoyed that. We got a lot of comments rolling in, everybody. I see. Boom, please stay on. I cannot do that. That is way too many for me. All right. But thanks for everybody. Keep the comments coming. Keep the comments coming, please. Now, to those having a birthday celebration today or a party of any kind, there's one thing that we would love for you guys to know. To level up your birthday party or any celebration, you need to call Shush Entertainment for your solid disco party experience. Hosted by our own DJ Boom. Looking for that special gift? Look no further than hazytrades.com for a custom image 3-piece set for that special someone in your life. Or, if you're interested in an astrological reading, contact business carriers to find out how the stars are lining up for you. Find out how the stars are lining up for you. And speaking up, how the stars are lining up, boy, we got a lot of comments about Aquarius. I want to thank Miss Bernice Watson for watching the show. All planets aligned yesterday and will be for a couple of weeks. A lot of people got a lot of things to say about Aquarius. I don't know how much is true, but we'll have to look that up, or we'll have to look on Debbie to enlighten us a little more about it. Also,
Or Inez, who's on.
or yes, or on Inez, you can definitely chime in. And I see you have been. Boy, there's a lot of people want to comment about it. I'm sorry, guys, we can't get to all your comments. But thanks for watching, and keep on commenting. We'll do our best to definitely try to get to all you guys. But right now, like I always like to say, we got to keep this ball rolling.
I guess right now we should start the show.
Must see TV and movies. One of my favorite things to do on the show because I love to see what you guys are watching out there. So, let's hear it, guys. What have you guys been watching this week?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, probably a month ago, you recommended 6888.
Yes, I did.
I
did.
finally got around to watching it. I almost
Did you?
I almost turned it off because I was not in the mood to have my heart broken. Like I'm very these days, I'm tough tender. But I watched it, and there was certainly, it inspired me to be myself.
Yes.
And to encourage all of our audience to be themselves, that there's a place for all kinds of talents. And that's what that movie showed, how ingenious those women were. And may not have thought of themselves as geniuses until they were faced with a problem that they had to solve. And they used their everyday knowing to solve it.
It instilled a lot of pride in me. It's just a reminder, because you see so many negative images of our people so many times on TV, movies, whatever. Just that reminder of how great we could be. That's one of the things that I picked up from the show. Not just the men, the women too. And so it was good to see that their contribution wasn't ignored as well. We talk about the Tuskegee Airmen all the time, but just our women were there too, and they did their part. So it instilled a lot of pride in me. I'm glad you got to cut it, and I'm glad you enjoyed it, Debbie, for sure.
Thank you.
Yes. What about you, Boom? What you been watching?
My petty self, every time I see it and I see that 2 hours, I just be like, oh no, I can't do it. I cannot sit and watch. I will be asleep for most of it. I'm be perfectly honest with myself.
Okay.
So at some point or another, who knows? Maybe I'll catch it. I don't know. I'm not against it. I just see that 2 hours and be like, I'm not sitting here for 2 hours watching this movie.
I thought the same thing. And so what I did was I pulled my television into the living room and I made some art while
you watched the movie.
While I was watching.
Literally, I promise you, if I just sit there, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like most stories like this, it's got to start with a narrative, right? So it started off slow, so I kind of get what you might say, and so it starts off a little slow. I had to get into it too. So when it starts off, it's like, okay, it's a movie, yada yada yada. But once the story starts playing on, and you start seeing yourself in the same shoes as the ladies, you start to really get into the movie. At least for me. At least for me. So give it a shot. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I probably will. But I did watch a couple movies. One was called Babes on Hulu. It's a comedy. I told you I was going to watch different genres of movies and talk about them on the show. It's a comedy, but it's an interesting spin on the comedy. About a woman who has a one night stand. She ends up pregnant, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. And you go from there with the story.
Yeah, I can
but
imagine.
It's a comedy. It's pretty funny. And the other one that I watched is called A Different Man. I can't remember the actor's name. This is like a thriller sort of show.
Oh, okay.
It's called A Different Man. So if you're familiar with the guy, The Mask, remember the mask guy that had his face disfigured and all that? The movie The Mask.
Okay.
The gentleman had that same disfiguration in his face, and he went, just to give you a quick synopsis, he went and had his face taken care of, basically, and then the story goes from there. It's actually fantastic. It is a fantastic story. And it's called A Different Man. I can't remember the actor's name. He's a popular actor, but I can't remember his name. It was a good movie. So that was my thriller, and that's my comedy. I don't have a horror for y'all this time because y'all not big on horror movies.
Thank God.
So I don't have one for you this time, but I do have. So sis Tawanda, she put up Earth Abide. That is a great series. If you want to do, I think it's only like 8 episodes, I believe. So that was a pretty good series to watch. I have never watched Severance. She said Severance on Apple TV.
And thanks for coming, Tawanda, by the way. Thanks for coming.
Right, yeah. So I've never watched that, and I may check that out. But that's what I got for you as far as what I'm watching on TV.
All right. There you go, everybody. Go check those movies out. Make sure you come back and let us know what you thought. Or Debbie, my wife, would just let you know that she loved the movie as well. Okay, yeah, we watched it together. We enjoyed it. I honestly, I think I might even saw the movie twice. That's crazy.
So do I, sister. But my co-host don't. My co-host don't like horror movies.
That's right, Tawanda. Tawanda has horrified me many a day.
That's crazy. I'm going to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of TV this week. It's been cold. And for me, I work for what I do, I work outside, everybody. So I've been outside in this freezing cold weather working the whole week. And when I get home, no, I wasn't very much in the movie watching, feeling, you know what I mean? So you have to excuse me. Right. Yeah. So, but my wife has been binge watching this, and I thought it was pretty cool. The return of Extreme Makeover Home Edition, for those who didn't know. Yes, it is back. It doesn't have Ty anymore, everybody. He's out of here. I don't know what he's doing. I'm sure he's doing something, but it is back. And it is the same old show. Yes, they are helping people, and that's the thing that I think interested me most. I'm in the home remodeling business, so I see a lot of new homes. But the stories, the backstories of the people that they helped, I thought was really, really cool. And so if you get a chance, go check that out. As you know, it's on ABC. Shout out to Disney. Y'all owe us checks, and we're going to be coming for them. So there you go, everybody. That's what I recommend.
If you're into game shows, though, check out the one Trader. It's called Trader. I'm telling now, Terry, I done put you on to something now, Terry. Because I'm telling you, start watching it, Shaheem gonna start watching it, and y'all can talk to me all about it. The whole house, me, Samir, and Denise, we sit there and watch that. That show is a very interesting show. We really enjoy it.
All right.
See it. Where can we see
Trader?
it?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Oh, they owe us so much money. They owe us so much money.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, there you have it, everybody. Go check them out and come back and let us know what you thought of our picks. And to everybody who's sending in their suggestions, thank you very, very much. We're getting so many comments today, everybody. We're trying to get to all of them. Thanks, everybody for watching. First of all, thanks to everybody.
Here go another whip, sis. Here go another whip. Man, I don't like horror movies.
No, they're not whips. They're not whips at all.
But about my friend. That's my friend.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, Bernice. And listen, if you like horror movies, fine. Let's have a vote. Everybody send in. Those who don't like them, comment. Those who do like them, comment. We'll see who wins. And my wife said she'll have to check it out. All right. For sure, everybody. Woo, boy, it's a busy day today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I can't say how much we appreciate it enough. But, like I like to say, if you have show ideas that you think that our wonderful audience would love, or if you're a business that would like to sponsor our beautiful program here, there's a way that you can get in contact with us. To contact us, you can reach us on our YouTube channel, where you can comment during the show, and please don't forget to subscribe. You can also watch, like, subscribe, and comment during the show on our social media platforms, our Facebook page, or our Instagram is @From the Shore to Be More. Our Twitter or X is @2_BeMore. Our email is fromtheshore@gmail.com, or you can call the show at 732-440-9314. If no one answers, please leave a message and someone from the show will get back to you. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get back to you. All right, everybody. Yeah, I want to remind everybody, this is not just our show. This is your show, too. Be part of it. Thank you. And I see a lot of people are being part of it. Thank you very much. All right, everybody.
Can we just get back to sports? I'm going to make it real short. Wanda asked me to brag on her grandson, Noah, who is now running along, and his older brother runs as well. And he came in 24th in a meet. And he's not being coddled. He's being encouraged to move up to 23, 22, 3.
That's right. There you go. All right. Shout out to Noah. Big shout out. Keep on going. We're all behind you. Woo, 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 woo. That's right, everybody. Okay, let's get ready to jump into this topic. And Brian, you can tell me, you can join the show whenever you get ready. You can find a link in your email, okay, sir? And you can just join in whenever you're ready. We're gonna go ahead and start the conversation. All right, our conversation today: the art of problem solving. We all run into problems in our daily life every day. How you go about solving your problems can be just as important as getting it solved. Right on, Debbie? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I love your title, the title you gave it, The Art of Problem Solving.
Thank you.
Because we think of problem solving in terms of, things that we do, 1 step, 2, 3 step. And sometimes that is relevant and it's helpful in terms of how you approach a problem. But sometimes it's intuitive. And sometimes,
how so?
Well, a lot of times we think of problems as figuring it out, something that we do in our heads.
Right.
And we go, oh my God, I have a problem and this is big and let me figure it out and let me make
Right. That's a good point.
my finances. And sometimes the best approach to a problem is to sit with it.
Okay. That's a good
To
point.
me,
That's a good point.
that's where I would start. And we're talking about relationship problems, finances, work problems. I usually start by writing in my journal.
Okay.
So for me, that's the part, becoming really familiar with the problem itself.
Right.
Because
Okay.
the solution is often in the stated problem.
Solution. Okay. Here's something that I learned from a boss that I used to have that I thought was that helped me. And that was not to necessarily focus on the problem as much as the solution. When you focus on the problem a lot, it can create a lot of anxiety. The problem is there. We get that. Take it for what it is. Recognize what it is, and then put your focus on the solution a little more, and that will help you. You don't want to get wrapped up into the problem too much. When you face problems every day, whether it's in your home, whether it's on your job. Now, facing your job, problems on your job, the way that you solve your problems on your job can not only affect you and your career, but the people around you just as well. Depending on whether you have people working under you, yada yada yada. For instance, if you're a commander in an army, the way you solve a problem just may or may not cost the men in your unit their lives. So the way you solve a problem is extremely important. You don't want and you don't want to shut your mind down to creative ways of problem solving. Now, Debbie, you sent us something that said the top 5 problems that people may face, may or may not face. The top 5. I'm just going to read them off real fast. 1 being mental health or issues that we might be having in our lives. That's 1. Financial instability. That's a big one. That's a big one. And how you solve that is extremely important. Work-life balance. That also can be a problem in people's life. It can shorten your life if you don't balance it properly. Work-life balance. Relationship challenges. That's another big one. And everybody, please comment, chime in if you have creative ways on solving some of these issues. Health and well-being, everybody. Health and well-being. The top 5.
I'm trying to find, if I wasn't attentive, I'm trying to find Brian. Inez, can you get Brian for us? I sent the link to his Messenger and also, no, I didn't send it to Messenger. I didn't think of that. All right, so I think
I sent it to Messenger.
I like what Shaheen's boss said about the problem.
Right. I thought that was good.
The very first thing is to get into the right
that's a
state
good idea.
of mind.
Okay.
So when you find yourself going, oh my God, I have a problem, and you're depressed,
Right.
and working in the theater, and shout out to Ken Wydrow, the producer of Mama I Want to Sing, with whom I worked.
You dropping names?
Oh.
You dropping names? Okay, all right.
He recently decided to leave his body so he could be closer to us. And serve as an ancestor.
All
but
right now.
in the
All right,
theater, every show there is going to be a problem.
Yes.
And if you're afraid of problems, then don't work in the theater. And by the way, don't be a parent.
You brought up something good. Fear of problems. That's a big one. That's a big issue.
Fear of problems. And I've had problems in the theater where it's a 632 seat theater and it's full. And a bus drives up from Baltimore, Maryland. We're in New York City, and a bus load with 32 people come into the theater, and there are no tickets and no seats.
And they'll do all the way from Baltimore.
I solved the problem usually by knowing that there was a solution.
There you go. Hey, Tawana.
First, establish that the word problem doesn't always mean a negative thing. Like
Not
you said,
always,
that's a good problem to have. You know what I mean? That's a good. Yeah, it's a solvable problem. You know what I mean? Solvable problem. So that stigma of when you hear problem, we all got our stigma for our words that we use, and automatically you think, what's wrong? You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, should I buy this black car or the white car? That's a problem for me right now. You know what I mean? Like, and somebody else be like, that's your problem? Well, yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. You know,
Perspective is important. Perspective is important. I mean, perspective is really important when you're talking about problems. I'm going to get to that in 1 second. I just want to make sure I recognize Tawana because she's been chiming in. She says she plays a lot of problem-solving games, which is good. Which is good to keep my mind strong. You want to keep your mind creative when it comes to problem solving. And she also says problem-solving games make it easier and less intimidating to approach a conflict in sophisticated fashion. I think that's a good point to make perspective. Everybody, like when I say perspective, I mean to say things like what Boom's talking about when someone's trying to choose between the color of a car. Well, okay, it might be a problem for that individual, but when you put it in perspective, when you know that there are countries around the world where people are having problems eating, that problem with the car doesn't seem such a big problem. And I'm going to use that as an example. I know they're extremes.
You know, I like the either or, the white car or the black car as an example.
Never get a white car. You have all day cleaning. I just want to say that, ladies and gentlemen. That's a whole day cleaning it.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. There you go.
Was approached by a client who wasn't sure whether he wanted to go to this school or that school. I forget what the either or was, but it was tormenting him. And he was like, I don't know. And I suggested that first he take away, I don't know. And
good point.
You don't know. You know.
Good point.
The answer is in you, and you want to allow it to come up.
Yes.
Right? So first of all, stop saying I'm confused. Just, you want to wait. Wait. WAIT, which is a powerful way to be when you have the time. And so what I did was I wrote choice 1 on a paper, choice 2 on another paper. I shook it up and I said, pick one. So he's picking blindly. I said, pick one. And the one that you pick is the answer.
That's it.
One
That's it.
and said, "Oh no, I don't want that one. I want the other one." So it just goes to show, by picking one, sometimes you have to pick. Just choose, because if it's the wrong answer for you, you'll know it by and by. You'll know it, and then sometimes we have to avoid being paralyzed.
Paralyzed. That's a good word. That's a good. And that's the thing. Here's the thing. What would cause with that feeling of being paralyzed is fear, right? Fear. We have to get over the fear of making mistakes. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, you have to get over that, because if you maintain that fear of making a mistake, you will always have that anxiety about problems, no matter what they are. No matter what they are. So you first have to get over that fear of making mistakes. There are times that you're going to make mistakes. The hope is that you learn from them. All right. But don't be afraid, like what they said, to make a decision. Make that decision and live with it. Make an educated decision the best way you can, of course. But live with it. Live with it. You're going to live. You're going to survive. Go ahead.
When you're faced with a decision, so I just had to make a decision. Two decisions, whether I was going to come back to Baltimore or not. And then when I decided I was going to come back to Baltimore, now I got to figure out how I'm going to get my furniture from Georgia back to Baltimore. When I went to Georgia originally, I had my truck. So I had a trailer hitched to my truck and I drove down. This time I don't have my truck. So now I got to figure out how to get it back. So it's $1,100 one-way truck rental.
Woo!
Or I could do it this way, or I could do it that way, or I could do it. So now the issue is not more so what is the right decision. It's more so what is the smart decision.
Right.
So sometimes it's not even about right or wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you made a mistake, and blah, blah, blah. It's just about what makes sense. So that was a dynamic of a problem, because it is. It's like, how the hell am I get my furniture up there?
No,
I'm not spending $1,100 and gas and all that to get up here. So it's a whole dynamic going on how to make this situation make sense. But as you can see, I'm here. I made it make sense. We're gonna figure it out. what I decided to do, so you guys would know, a friend of mine has a van here in Baltimore. He's gonna let me take his van, drive back down to Georgia, pick my stuff up, and come back. So
All right, there you go.
problem solved.
Well, I know that you did a great job solving that problem because you didn't bother me or on Debbie. So I know you worked that out to the best of your ability. Hey, Bernice, yes, I am the worst
Listen.
decision maker trying to work through it. Well, thanks for watching the show, Bernice, and I'm sure, first of all, since you recognize as a problem, that you will work through it.
like Lotto said, I don't deal with brokies, so I wasn't gonna ask y'all anyway.
Oh, that's mean. That's all right. You will need us at some point. Remember, you said that.
I put aside $5,000
Right.
to help him out. Now I'm going to give it to
There you go.
to T. Dupuet. So there you go. Bernice brings up that she has difficulty making decisions. And so let's look at again, what makes it difficult is looking at it right and wrong. Sometimes Virgos or or the Virgo energy in us, because we all have Virgo something.
Okay.
I think one of you guys already, they think in terms of right and wrong. What a decision. Brian, where are you? You're supposed to be on.
Yeah, you're supposed to be on, sir. We sent you the links and everything. But thanks for
Come
coming.
on, Brian. Come on now. So the thing about decision is that it's making a cut. It's not so much the right and the wrong. It's like you have to decide, and you can become a better decision maker by making decisions.
Right.
So making a decision is like a brain muscle, and
Okay.
you have to make it.
You got to get comfortable with it.
But here's the point that she brought
Okay.
up about being coddled. Her parents made the decisions for her all the time, so she never had to make the decision.
Go back to that comment. I didn't see that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
It's right
think-
there.
yeah.
I think
She
it
never had
comes
to
from
make the
all
decision.
decisions made for me by parents. So I never practiced. Okay, all right. That's
You know what I mean?
understandable.
So
That-
now you're thrust into this. You're grown. Obviously. So now
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say now. Come on now.
you have to make decisions, but I never had to do it before. This, like I said, I got a friend who had a 17-year-old kid who never had to cross the street, and she didn't know how to cross the street when it was time to cross the street. And we would say, what? What do you mean? But she never had to do it.
Right.
So how
okay.
does she know how to do it? Like,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Yeah, and
that's the
crossing
coddling I'm talking about.
intuitive. After you learn it, after you practice it, after you do it, you become very intuitive. But I think making decisions, and Bernice's parents making this decision for her, brings up the idea of advice. When you have a
Okay.
problem,
Right.
What-
Right. Good point.
to what extent do you guys seek advice? What do you think about advice, giving or receiving?
I'll take
Well-
advice. Well, I took advice, and that's how I ended up back in Baltimore. To be perfectly honest, because I took some advice.
Right.
Mhm.
Advice is important in life. You're not born knowing everything. You have to learn. And the best way to learn is for people who've been through the things that you might have been facing, that you might be facing, i.e., sometimes your parents, sometimes elders of all sorts, sometimes just even a relative, a friend, whatever. Advice can come from a lot of places. Like I just got this advice from my boss years ago about problem solving. Advice can come from. You have to take in advice and don't be cold to it. There was a time in my life when I would say I was cold to it as a young man. I was very stubborn. I can say that, but I noticed how much easier my life got when I started accepting people's advice. Shout out to my mom. Wink, wink, wink. You know who I'm talking about. Things got a little easier.
The danger of giving advice and taking advice. First of all, if you need advice, go to one trusted person. Don't go to A, B, C, D. Don't ask all the people, because then they'll end up,
No,
you.
you can't get it from the guy in front of the liquor store. You want to don't take advice from that guy.
Well, you might not even want to take advice. You know, you might not even want to take advice from a teacher or
A teacher. Good point. Thank you.
not it's advice because you know
Okay.
those of us who are strong-minded like me, we trust our own minds.
Well, there's a lot of
And
people commenting. We're
our
trying.
mind, you know, when we get an idea, we trust it, our mind.
Yes.
But what we want to begin to get better at, and I'm in practice with this, is we want to get better at trusting that the person has the answer within. And that instead of just right off the bat saying, well, you should ask them questions. Well, what kind of solutions have you thought of?
Right.
What do you want the
Yeah.
outcome to be? What do you imagine? You know, think of questions so that to get the person talking, and then often the advice will come up. But if you're a strong minded person like Shaheem and
Nice.
Deborah
Oh yeah. Okay.
and
Okay.
Boom,
Right.
watch out for our giving advice as do. When the advice comes at you as if it's the person's wisdom, you know, you might want to back that up a little bit. And for us strong
Okay.
minded people, I think our opportunity is to trust the person who
Right.
is, you
Giving
know,
the advice. Right.
who's giving. When I was a supervisor, I found that people, and I'm a boss, Shaheem, as you know. You called it a personality clash. What it is I'm a boss, right? I'm a boss type. So here I am, I'm a boss, and the boss tells people what to do. So I noticed that people resisted and resented things I told them.
Right.
So what I learned to do was to ask them how would they do it. And
Oh,
so if
okay.
they took an egg, I mean, not that that ever came up, and they placed it on the end of the table, I might go, "Oh my God, you know, don't put an egg on the
The end of the
end of
table.
the
Right.
table. It may roll off." But if
Right.
I tell them that, it may freeze their own independent thinking, or they just resist it and resent it. So what I've learned to do is say, "Have at it. You know, do it,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
let's see." Then they see, and now they're not resenting me for telling them what to do or
There you go.
giving them advice. So
I want to get to some of these comments real quick, like because your brother is commenting too. Your brother says, I can't get a connection at the moment. Deborah, you told me 12 p.m. and Inez is sucking up all the bandwidth. I don't know what's going on over there. But okay, Brian, we understand. I also want to get to this, though. That,
2 p.m. Eastern, he had to figure out.
oh, y'all going to duke it out after the show. I already know.
So Brian, you know, we wanted you as a guest on the show because as project manager of
Right.
Boeing,
Right. Shout out.
I would imagine you have come up with some massive problems. When you have a chance to keyboard it out, please share with us not the details, but maybe how you felt in the place of one of these big problems. Oh, I don't know,
Yes.
something like a plane crashing somewhere.
Uh,
And how did you compose yourself
right.
to support your team
Under pressure.
and,
Under pressure, too. Yeah.
and addressing the
Listen, I can give you a scenario like that while we wait for Uncle Brian to type in. As a DJ, people have no idea how many times the computer stopped working, the such and such stop, blah blah blah. They have no clue. And what I do, I can't speak for nobody else, but I figure out stuff on the fly. I'll go connect my phone. I'll do it, and they are none the wiser that the song went off, the song stopped. Because even so, at a wedding, they'll be doing this whole walk down the aisle thing, and the song is not long enough. You know what I mean? So they don't even know I continued the song. You know what I mean? So that's a problem because if I could just let it stop, This was your
Yeah.
song. But all them little things, people have no clue of the problems that we are presented with as DJs behind that table, especially when it comes to a big day like a wedding. Have no idea.
Right. Tawanda says, I believe to empower the person to resolve their own problem works best most of the time. Thanks, Tawanda. You've been giving a lot of comments. I also want to go back to this comment that you made earlier, Tawanda. Buy the liquor store guy might give you the better advice than someone who think they know you. Okay. But don't get financial advice from that guy. That's what I would say. Don't get financial advice from
Well,
him.
maybe
Yeah, I was gonna say you might want to get financial advice from him. 'Cause
I
that's the
don't
one,
know.
Since he
maybe
know
they
how he
can
blew
tell
his money.
you. Maybe they can tell
Says he knew how he blew his money, huh? I'm
how
sorry.
they
go ahead.
got- maybe they can tell you how they got to where they got it. And advice doesn't. Anyway, they might be the very ones.
Explain this comment, Tawanda. That's because you're Peter's son. What do you mean by that? Obviously talking to you, boo.
Mhm.
No, that's because he's my dad.
Okay. All right. Thanks for everybody watching. Go ahead.
In
I'm sorry.
solving a problem, you
Mhm.
often have to be willing to let go of what you think must be.
Okay.
It has to look like this.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
It's got to have this shape. One time when I was looking for an apartment, and all of my problems usually stem around apartments, a boyfriend told me to not look for what I had because I had been in a 2-bedroom apartment close to the Brooklyn Botanic Garden, and I thought in a great neighborhood, and I wanted that again. And he
All right.
encouraged me to not make my decision by demanding that it look like this, demanding
Right.
that I have that. And that
Right.
allowed me to make room for a better idea. And ultimately, I got another apartment, and it wasn't in that neighborhood. But then when it came time to leave that neighborhood, I was also trying to hold on and say, gotta live here, gotta live there. So, don't think in terms of it's gotta look like this. Think in terms of how you want to feel
Right.
in solving. So here we have Brian Singletary.
What's up, Ryan?
I would imagine you've had some big ass problems in your life. Can somebody unmute him? You're muted, Brian.
So I think because that not that I'm expert on solving problems, but so here I am. So this is a perfect segue because you know one thing I learned: trust no one. Right?
Trust no one. Okay.
Trust. For example, my sister said 12 noon.
All right, we're gonna let y'all duke it out. But first of all, I want to say welcome, Brian. You watch the show all the time, and you've been coming on the show for a long time, so it's good to have you on as a guest. First of all,
I apologize.
but W, I'm put a good question to you. Can you think of a situation under pressure where you had to think of solve a problem, a big problem, and talk about how you did it?
Well, I think it starts with the mindset. And one thing I learned from my brother, Peter, is that it's a solution to every problem, right?
Ha! That's true.
With that mentality, I think it makes right. You don't that you approach way, right? I also like to approach things in a fact-based way.
You're breaking up. Can Inez get off?
She's already
Because she could probably tune in without a Wi-Fi. All right.
yeah, she's already off.
Or you're sitting too close.
Already kicked off.
Sitting too close.
You already kicked
He's
her
already
out.
kicked her.
So go ahead, Brian.
That now. Yeah, is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I approach problems with that, right?
Right.
That there's always a solution to every problem, right?
Yes.
Also, no one else is going to solve my problem but me, right? So,
Okay.
and I think I, I think it's very important to note, the best defense is offense, right?
Okay.
We got to
Explain.
start out by not getting into problems, right? Know the show. I think the best way to solve a problem is not get into a problem.
Not getting into a problem in the first place, right?
And to not get into a problem, you got to be realistic, right? So
Right.
I'm not going to try to think about who's going to bail me out of jail. First, I'm going to think about not drinking and driving, right?
That. Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
that's. But from a, so I think we're thinking about for my professional life, right? When it comes to solving problems, we use a very scientific method, right? We assume nothing. We analyze step by step by step. We dissect the problem. We make no assumptions, right?
No.
We look at the problem from every angle, right? And I think a lot of times when we have problems, we look to fixing the people. But one thing we learned in aviation is that you can never fix the people, right?
Well said.
People,
They are who they are.
it's important. We have improvements. For example, we have pilot training, mechanic training. We have rules and regulations on duty rest. A pilot can only fly for so long. A mechanic can only work for so long. But ultimately, what made aviation safer is not because the people got better. It's because the machines got better, and the machines became more reliable. So I guess I say that for us, if we have a problem in our life, we have to look at what system that we can modify, that we can change to solve the problem. For example, I'm looking for I need work, and you say, you ain't working hard enough. Well, maybe I need to go on Monster. Maybe I need to see the tools that are out there, right? And use the tools and things that will help me solve a problem.
Okay.
I like that. To sum it up, you're saying don't make the person the problem and then focus on the person.
I mean, the person may be the problem, but the solution is not going to be the person. So, for example,
not going to be the problem. And I think this is probably helpful in relationships as well, because when people are not happy in a relationship, there's an easy tendency to say that the problem is the other person.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, that's the easy way out. That's the scapegoat. That's the back door. That's no ownership. That's not taking responsibility. When you just want to automatically say it's the other person. Y'all heard I say publicly on this show all the time, Sherelle didn't mess up my marriage. I didn't mess up my marriage. We messed up our marriage. You know what I mean? Collectively. And so we both have to own the fact that we messed it up. Whatever way, shape, or form. So I don't lay no blame on her. I could say things that happened, but overall it was us. We did it.
You guys, you remind me of something that say cool. Ursula, God rest her soul, man. One time we were driving late at night, man. We were in Austria or something, man. I was getting tired, right? We had a long drive, right? We were driving back to Hungary, man. I was tired. I was feeling it. And I said, "Hey, Ursula, are you tired?" I don't remember if I asked her was she sleepy or she tired. It was one of those. Are you tired? She said, no, I'm not tired. All right. Man, about 30 minutes later, I said, Ursula, can you drive? She said, no, I'm sleepy. I said, what? I just asked you if you were tired. She goes, not tired, I'm sleepy. Man, we come on arguing about the difference between
that must have woke her up.
Right. I woke him up too, I'm sure.
But sometimes we hate problems that we should just let it go. Man, women are built differently, right? So
All right, that's a whole different debate.
Sometimes you gotta say okay and move on, right? Just say okay and move on and don't follow.
But talking about problem solving, one of the things that I like is that never take anything off the table. Keep your mind open when it comes to solving a problem. Well, I like the fact that when you talked about walking through it step by step and analyzing the problem, but for me, never leave anything off the table. There are so many creative ways of solving a problem. Ones that if I think Debbie might have even said something along this lines, that if you close your mind, you won't think of it. So keep your mind open and focus on, and I said this earlier, the solution more than the actual problem. Because like you said, and like Uncle Pete said, there's always a solution to a problem at the end of the day,
And I
right?
love that, Shaheen.
Mhm.
And I think
Yes,
we
yes.
can also get in trouble by focusing on what's realistic.
Okay.
What's realistic is according to our perception and how we see it. And
Right.
so
I
what's
understand. I respect that for sure.
therefore is always limited.
Mm.
You know, so when people say be realistic, there's the suggestion that there's only one thing, only
That's a good point.
one way. So rather
That's
than
a
to
good point.
say be realistic, what I like to do is to do what's at hand. Take the very first step.
Right.
And sometimes if I have a really big problem, what's
Mm.
at hand is washing the dishes. Because that is a problem that I can solve.
Okay.
In the frame of I can do something, I have power. Because
Power, right.
solving problems makes us feel so sometimes you have to look away from what we're calling a problem. And I think one of you guys said it, we might want to ask ourselves, what is the opportunity here? What
That's
can
good. That's a good point
learn,
too.
experience that I wouldn't have experienced if this hadn't come up? What is the gift here? Instead, there's the assumption that problems are always bad. I'm sure one
Hmm.
said that.
Oh,
It's not like it's always a bad problem. It could be an opportunity, and your fear and your insistence
Fear,
things come
right.
out and work out a certain way could be the problem.
Right. There you go. That fear, man. That's the 800-pound gorilla in the room. That fear, boy. That brings up that anxiety when you're faced with a problem, boy. You got to get over that. It's okay to make mistakes. The biggest things that you learn from them, everybody. But come up with a solution. You can find a solution, right, Brian?
right, solution to every problem.
There's
Solution.
a solution to every problem.
And for me personally, my thought process when it comes to spirituality is different than a lot of people.
Okay.
He means different from
Hey,
Laura and Inez, but go ahead.
I don't look to praying for solve my problem. That's just me.
You don't look
Right.
too what?
I
pray.
don't look to praying, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
and
Me either.
Me neither.
Me
and
neither.
the
There you go. All right, we all agree. There you go.
But
Devon
I can tell you what the value of prayer is. But go ahead, Brian.
Uh-oh.
would say, "Man, your father's paranoid, right?" Because I would tell them they'd be going to the beach. I'd be like, "Well, I looked up the statistics. You know how many people die in sinkholes every year in the beach when they dig in? They'd be like, oh, come on, Mr. Sanitary, But man, I just stay in a fact-based world.
There you go.
Sometimes, we want to stay positive, but my positivity ends at believing there's a solution to every problem. After that, no, the world is on fire, right? I freaking plan for the worst, right? And I think that only I can solve my. I'm not saying don't help the people, because throughout my life, my parents, my siblings, my friends, people have helped me with the problems, but I don't go into the problem depending on anyone.
No, that's important too. But you're open to advice, obviously.
Yeah. Me either.
Yes, I'm open to advice for sure.
Right. Advice is important. I think we all can agree on that, right?
I think
Right.
it's very important, Brian. I would advise you to send that shirt. Go better with my skin tone.
You got to live in.
But here's where spirituality comes in. Very often people limit, they're too realistic about spirituality.
Mm.
They're looking at it as a thing. Here's how I might approach prayer, is knowing that there is a wisdom, there is an answer, and the answer, there is a way, there is the solution, and I might call the solution is God. But what I really mean by that is the solution is bigger than my rational thinking
Can
at the
comprehend.
time.
Right. I got
Right.
what you're saying.
And so for me, prayer might be deep breaths and an acknowledgement that I have within me,
Mm-hmm.
I have an inner knowing, I have a resource within me that I may not have tapped into. And I'm going to take my ego mind out of the picture and
Okay.
for a minute rest in the awesome beauty and power of the mystery. Now, mind you, I'm not necessarily, so that's how I want to approach spirituality, that it really is, it means that there is always a solution
Right.
that, and solutions are like tinctures, water, you put lemon in water, it's wet, it's not formed. So there's not a hard answer.
So, Auntie, if you said to me, nephew, pray,
I would
I'm
never
going to take it. No, I'm just saying this in general. If you said that to me, I'm going to take it exactly how you just explained it. But the average person, when they say pray, that's what they talking about. Pray, get on your knees, pray to God. You
Oh
know what I mean?
God,
So that's what Uncle Brian, right?
God
That's what Uncle
says
Brian,
I
yeah, I'm
didn't
not
do
doing
this in the first place, so
that.
you on your own. Yeah, I'm with you. You and me, boom.
Right.
Listen, I want to start closing out the show soon, but I want to say, first of all, thank you to everybody who's been commenting. Man, we got flooded with comments, and also to our other special guest, Tawanda. I mean, wow. Okay, thank you, cuz, for being part of the show today. I want to say that. But before we start rounding out, I want to give everybody a chance to give their last thoughts. So, Brian, you any last thoughts on problem solving?
Any last thoughts? I just want to go back to in the head, avoiding the problem. I understand completely what Deborah said, but I just think we have to be realistic and we have to face our problems.
Yes. Thank you again, Twan. You're funny. It's a pleasure. All right, thanks, Brian. What about you guys? Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
My last thought would be know that there's a difference between thinking and worrying. Worrying,
Nice.
strangling your mind. So don't rest before you worry. Worry is not the way to go. Thinking is see Brian about thinking. He'll help you.
All right, Boom. Any last thoughts?
Absolutely. Listen, like they said, every problem has a solution. Stevie Wonder even said it. Problems have solutions. And so just know that. Don't get consumed by your problem, whether it's a good problem or a bad problem. Don't get consumed by it. There is an answer to what you have going on. There is an answer. Make the decision and keep it moving. Bernice, make the decision, keep it moving. I hate shopping because I hate trying to decide what I'm going to buy. So I understand all too well, Bernice.
Listen, I hope everybody watching the show today got a little something that's going to help you in the future, whether it's on your job, in your personal life, whatever. You're going to always be faced with problems. How you solve them is important. How you approach them is important. I think we can all agree with that. But most important of all, like Brian said, I think we can all agree, there is also always a solution. Don't be intimidated by those problems. So there you go. So, thank you. Yeah.
Welcome your problem.
Here we go. Welcome. I want to thank our special guest, Brian. Thank you again for showing up. Better late than never, but we're always glad to have you. And we hope you come back again.
Absolutely.
To everybody watch, go ahead, boo.
You know it's gonna be.
It's going to be a lovely day, everybody. Listen, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thanks for watching the show. We look forward to having you again next week for another episode of From the Shore to Be More. All right? Goodbye, everybody.
When the day that lies ahead of me
One of my favorite joints right here, man. I just absolutely love this song right here, man.
when someone else instead of me
I could be dead.